Hello friends, this is Karthikeya Singh working as an assistant professor in School of Management Sciences, Varanasi. We are covering this research process, and I have already told you like this particular question is expected to be asked in a long set of question. So let's move ahead. As we have already covered problem identification, review of literature, development of working hypothesis, preparation of research design, determining sampling design, collection of data, execution of the project, analysis of data, and we are into this hypothesis testing step. So let's cover it one by one. After analyzing the data, as stated above, the researcher is in position to test the hypothesis, if any, he had formulated earlier. So at this step, if researcher has already formulated a hypothesis, which I have already discussed in third step. So if somebody has formulated his hypothesis, he is going to test it in the hypothesis testing step. So this hypothesis testing is to be done as we have already formulated hypothesis in the third step. We are just going to check it. Whatever conclusion, whatever findings we have made, we are going to check it empirically. So do the facts support the hypothesis. Whatever data you have collected, and through that data you must have done certain data analysis, and you must have come out with certain conclusion. That conclusion is going to match with the hypothesis or not. You are going to check in this step, and they happen to be a contrary. You are going to check it. This is the usual question which should be answered while testing the hypothesis. Whether this hypothesis matches with the formulated hypothesis or not, means whatever conclusion you have drawn in the analysis data, that a conclusion is going to match with the hypothesis or not, you are going to check in this particular step. So there are various tests which is expected to be done in this hypothesis testing step. Basically, these are chi-square test, t-test, f-test have been developed in statistics for this purpose. So what all these tests are, basically we are going to cover in the part of data analysis, but these are few tests which is usually being done while testing our hypothesis. So while testing hypothesis, we do it on a very basic principle that we work on a sample and we try to generalize it in population. So if a particular conclusion is being made on basis of sample, we just try to generalize it that this particular finding or hypothesis is also going to justify for the population. So this is generalization is going to take place through hypothesis testing, and there are several ways to do it. Chi-square test, f-test, t-test, z-test, several tests are there. Apart from it, we usually use ANOVA, regression, and correlation also to justify our point. So hypothesis may be tested through use of one or more such tests, depending upon the nature of the object and object of research inquiry. Hypothesis testing will result in either accepting the hypothesis or in rejecting it. So it depends, means whether conclusion is going to match with the hypothesis or not, we are going to check it, and there are several ways to do it. So in hypothesis testing as a process, our basic aim is to match the conclusion with hypothesis which we people have hypothesized as the beginning of the research in third step. So if conclusion is matching with the hypothesis, we are going to accept the conclusion as the genuine result. If it is not, then again we have to work on our research, or even in sometimes we have to think twice or thrice for the generalization of this hypothesis testing. So it depends upon the situation whether you are going to test your hypothesis in one go, or you need time to repeat the process again and again to reach or match it with the conclusion. So it all depends upon the situation of the research. But as a process, hypothesis testing is the process where you are going to check your hypothesis with the conclusion, and you are going to generalize the result. So this is it in terms of process. Thank you so much for watching.